Hey, welcome back everybody. Thank you so much for dropping by. And today, what we'll do is we're going to cover as many supplements slash vitamins that we can. Talk to you about all the micronutrients out there, which that includes what? Vitamins, minerals, and trace elements. Only the most important ones are the most talked about. And that you're asking yourself the question, do we really require them? That's a question that I get asked a lot. And you know what? I finally decided after all this time to, talk about it, because I've been studying that for at least a minimum of at least 20 to 25 years. I remember the first time, here I go with my stories, but I gotta tell you that. Sounds like an info commercial. I remember going to my first time going to a nutritionist and asking her, should I be worried about my bones, taking calcium, and all that. And you know, like they always have the way of saying yes, you need it, and you know, you should take this, it's important because it's money for them. And at my age I was in shape, probably didn't require any calcium, but the recipe was calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. I took a look at that, and if you go back even 20 years ago, people over 50, I even see my parents, my mother especially, taking calcium, and that was it, just calcium alone. And I asked her, I go, why are you giving me magnesium and vitamin D? Do I really require them? That was a question. And I go, my mother, I know she's taking only calcium. She goes, well, if you're just taking calcium alone, you might as well just go outside and, you know, just try to bite off the side of the sidewalk. It'll be the same. Okay, well, why do I require them? Can you explain it to me? She goes, yeah. You take the calcium and magnesium together. Yes, they do have some conflict in certain things, but in a way, your magnesium is going to come. It's got like over a lot of benefits that it does, and a lot of biochemical, should I say, things in your body. And I explained that in the previous videos. It has at least 300, but at that time she didn't know all that. But it comes and it helps liquefy the calcium that you're taking, so it's extremely important to take it. And it goes, once that hits your liver and it's all there, to be able to absorb it, you need that vitamin D. About 5 to 6 to maybe a few years ago, we started seeing vitamin D now that the doctors are prescribing. Yeah, prescribing what, 10,000 units for the week? What if you're a person that requires a lot of vitamin D because you're not a person that absorbs a lot of vitamin D, and depending on where you live and so on and so forth, and you don't have much sun? What happens if you use all that vitamin D before the end of the week? Or if it's even too much because you already have enough vitamin D? All good questions. But anyways, one or the other, you do require the vitamin D, and at least she was right on that topic. We did require vitamin D. Like 25 years ago, they knew that, and the doctors didn't even know that. Now we're starting only to see vitamin D test on our blood test. I think I saw that for the first time like 5 or 6 years ago. It wasn't there before. How about the magnesium? I asked my doctor and I showed her what I was taking. She goes, oh man, this is good. 2 magnesiums for 1 calcium. That is perfect. Keep on using it, and it's great. I go, well, why don't you guys prescribe it between you and me and only? And now I'm here saying it to the whole world on YouTube. Doctors, and they're not there yet. They're not at that level yet to understand that magnesium is important. But yes, please continue what you're doing. So what she actually gave me 25 years ago is probably, I didn't require it right away until probably I was going to be 50. But nonetheless, she was right. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover that and take a look at this. I won't say if I'm for it or I'm against it, but I'll let you guys do your own decision after all this research that I'm going to put on there. And once you listen to all this, you'll probably know a lot more than anybody out there that are asking themselves, when they're buying themselves a multivitamin, should I be taking it or not? But this question I asked a lot of people. Before I went forward, I go, okay, I gotta know, is this a subject worth saying yes? Because a lot of people ask me. So I asked the question out there to several of my friends. I go, what do you think about a multivitamin or even taking vitamins? A lot of nice answers came around. Everyone should take a multivitamin every day for optimal health. Sounds right. No one should take a vitamin of any sort. Wow, black and white, aren't we? You know what? You may be right also. That's what we're going to be looking into. It depends on how you eat. If one day you don't eat adequately, then that day you should take a multivitamin. Well, that makes sense. If you're just going to take 3 hamburgers, take out and you're eating French fries and so on and so forth. You have a pizza at night and it's just mac and cheese, or whatever. You may not have enough nutrients in that day. So he may be right. With the food today, everyone should take a multivitamin. Okay, there it goes again. It depends on food. After 50 years old, everyone should take at least a multivitamin instead of just taking a vitamin D, calcium, magnesium, and sometimes iron prescribed by our doctor. Might as well just capsule it all in one capsule and take a multivitamin. Easier, flexible, could be true. Before 50 years old, you should not take any vitamins at all, unless your doctor tells you to. But unless you have a lack of absorption of some kind of vitamin or micronutrient in your body. That sounds intelligent. That sounds nice. Is it true? Again, we'll take a look into this. And the list goes on. Yeah. So, yeah, if I take a look, the list just keeps on going and going. It's like it's either black or white, and there's very little like in the gray zone or just middle, like they would say it, that people agree on. But one thing I did notice is if we take a look at how would I say that? Not the knowledge, but les croyances, the beliefs. Yeah, I had the French term in my head, but not the English term. If we take a look at the beliefs, 90% of the people in the US believe that a multivitamin in vitamins to replace what we're missing in food. So that's a lot of money for marketing in these multivitamin companies could use against you, or to tell you for you to be able to sell their product and make more money. But again, let's take a look at something else. What are the main reasons out there for supplements? Well, I've taken a look at a lot of stuff out there. What was the main reason is to live longer with optimal health. That's one of the main reasons that a lot of people who I've seen around vitamin things or I've seen on the internet go for. Or all kind of supplements that will give you more energy throughout the day. Yeah, we know that today we're always running and working hard and over hours. So we're always looking for that extra edge, for multivitamin to help us, gain that little extra energy. Is it true? Again. And the rest is focused on health issues that you might have, and people go or prenatal or things like that, very focused on the rest. And then if you take a look at the live longer component of things, and you look at the internet, again, what is the mostly sold and which concentrate on is coenzyme 10 Revitrol in wine for live longer, stress, Placifort, delirium. It's a little blue plant, if I remember right. It calms your stress. The other one is for osteoporosis, for your bones, curcumin, glucosamine, prostate health, cancer, antioxidants, Alzheimer's, omega-3s, and vitamin E. The list goes on. Those are all over the place. Are we going to cover them all? No, I'd be here till the end of the summer, telling you each one by one. What I'll do is probably cover them really quickly in one spread of videos, but what I'll do is make a specific videos on omegas, on vitamin D's, vitamin E's, vitamin A, K, and I'll cover calcium, magnesium, which I find so important, zinc. The main ones out there, I'll try to cover them and explain to you guys, do we really require them at any age and for any reasons at all? And I know those are the mostly used or consumed micronutrients that I've looked around for, and saw on shelves of people's houses. So, well, the other one is, do I need multivitamins? I'm healthy. It depends what you mean by healthy. Healthy is no issues of any type. You have great energy. And basically that ranges from 5 to 10% of the people out there in North America. You have to look at your history of eating, sleeping, how much exercise you do. What's your work environment? You work in a very harsh environment, which air is bad. You got a lot of those not antioxidant but radicals, that could destroy cells in your body. How do you replenish them? What's the DNA of your family, your history family? Are you bound for cancer like in 10, 20 years from here? Does your family have a bad DNA of doing certain diseases? We all know soils in America, in the USA, it's very depleted of nutrients, and especially magnesium. That is well known in our food, and so the food, when it comes on our plate, is already depleted of these minerals. Do we have to go get them in our supplements? That's something we'll have to take a look at also. And are any type of supplements out there on the markets bad for you? Well, people say natural products because the term natural that they hear, they think because of that everything's safe. So far, sometimes it's so far from the truth, and it may do the opposite effect. Any types of supplements, nutrients, chemicals that you put in your body in excess or a high dose, say, and with conflict with medication, could be bad for you in any way. If you take too much vitamin A. Here's a few examples. I noted them down. Vitamin D, high doses can even cause heart issues. Omega-3 in very high doses with some medication could cause internal bleeding. Interesting. Iron, calcium can cause serious constipation. And magnesium, the opposite effect, diarrhea. And again and again, if you take, this thing against cold, echinacea, I don't know how to say it in English, I guess it's the same thing, can have a bad mix if you're taking anticoagulant, to clear your blood and make your blood clear. It could have a bad conflict. And I have a whole page of this, so I'm not going to go through everything, but basically you see how conflicts with supplements come around to some medication, or even if you take the supplements in high dose. There was so many case studies on that with high dose of supplements, which caused a lot of problems and even death. And even death in some people. The other one is, how about the level of contamination and quality? Is there different qualities out there in different types of supplements and vitamins? Definitely. And you know what? As I review every one, I'll make my own suggestions, what I take, and I'm not affiliated with any ones of them, but at least I'll show you what I studied, what I've seen, and I pay a lot of different places out there to be able to read and see the results that they have, which probably after all this I'm gonna cut down, because it's expensive, and till my YouTube doesn't reach 100K of subscriber, I can't really maintain these guys. But nonetheless, I will definitely show you what some of the results they were able to gather up and give you my feedback on the ones that I suggest taking just by reading the ingredients in the back. What are the differences between synthetic and natural? Is there a difference? Oh, yeah, there is a difference. The molecule stays pretty much the same, but did you know even with tar, you could create a vitamin K? K2, I think. I can't remember which one it is. And the most synthetic one is mostly the vitamin C, and most of our vitamin C in North America comes from China. So how to recognize the natural ones and the ones that don't come from there, that we'll review that. We'll review the vitamin C also. Are there specific different supplements or vitamins out there? Yeah, there is. I will talk about the water soluble, fat soluble, the trace elements. We'll see how it is. And is there a specific time to take our vitamins or supplements? Yeah, I already talked about that in my last video of Zenbev reviews. In for sleep as one of them in vitamin D. In some, for at least an average of 40 to 50% of the people taking vitamin D close to dinner time at night would keep them awake, and they had a sensitive, a little bit of tolerance towards the vitamin D and keeping them awake. I know it never really bothered me, but it's true that I did take my vitamin D and I did have issues to sleep. Would it be the vitamin D? I don't know, but I've changed the hours of taking my vitamin D to the afternoon, and since it's a fat soluble vitamin, I decide to take it during my meals. So a fat soluble vitamin will help as transport in my nutrients that I eat during my food during the daytime. So there is a specific time for some vitamins, for water, and fat soluble vitamins also, which we'll talk about as we cover each one. How much do we really need, the quantities? Yeah, I'll put that quantity down, but hey, just take a look at this plate for an example. This is a totally ridiculous thing. This is how much you require of vitamins every day. I know you'll tell me, whoa, B7, B9, I hardly could see where it is. How about vitamin D? I can't even see it. This is how much you need. And, this is why you got doctors and specialists tell you you don't need it, you could get in your food. But manufacturers tell us the opposite. It's like if you take this manufacturer, I don't have to go into the naming it, but you could see it. They tell you you need to take these every day. Tell you the truth, I don't agree with that. Probiotics is another one that I probably will cover, because probiotics, to what I understand, there's prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics now. And you take a probiotic, you probably don't need to take it more than a month. And sometimes it's good to take it after you had antibiotic shots because you had something which you were trying to get rid and you got a prescription from your doctor. It'll help refurbish your intestines and the bacteria's in there. But after a month, it's no use. It's wasting your money. But these guys say, yeah, daily you should be taking it, and I don't agree with that. But you know what? We'll cover it as we go. You could make your own decisions on that. But basically, here's a picture of what you require every day. I put a tomato, but you could put a pear in there, or you could put even an orange in there instead of the tomato. But basically, this is a meal for me, to tell you the truth. This is the only small quantities that you need to get all your vitamins in one day, and most of the iron and so on and so forth, and calcium, magnesium. So I don't know, you tell me if you require vitamin or supplements in your meal. So again, I'll cover the fat and soluble, trace. We'll cover all that. We'll review all this. The one I can't wait to do is the omega 3s and omega 6, because I had issues in my last blood test where my omega 6 was a bit high. And I did the research on that, and it's like, oh my God, it's unbelievable. But hey, stick around, and hopefully you like what you saw, and you guys share. So, and if you did like, subscribe, hit that bell button so I get more visibility out there and people are able to find me. It's up to you guys. So have a great day, everyone.